roll program.
The origins of the space race can be traced back to the geopolitical and ideological tensions of the post-World War II era. The conclusion of the Second World War left the United States and the Soviet Union as the two superpowers with starkly contrasting political and economic ideologies. The United States championed capitalism and democracy, while the Soviet Union embraced communism. This ideological rivalry was the backdrop against which the space race unfolded. The Cold War, a period of political, military, and ideological competition between these two superpowers, provided the broader context for the space race. Each side sought to demonstrate the superiority of its system, and space exploration became a potent symbol of technological and scientific prowess. Early Soviet successes in the space race set the stage for a fierce and competitive race between the United States and the Soviet Union. The Soviets achieved several significant milestones that took the world by surprise, and placed them at the forefront of space exploration during the late 1950s and early 1960s. The most notable of these early successes was the launch of Sputnik 1 on October 4, 1957. Sputnik 1 was the world's first artificial satellite, and its successful launch into orbit marked a historic moment in human history. The tiny spherical satellite transmitted radio signals back to Earth, beeping as it orbited, and it served as a clear demonstration of Soviet technological prowess. Sputnik 1 had profound implications on a global scale. It triggered shock and concern in the United States, as it not only showcased Soviet capabilities in space, but also had potential military applications. This moment in history is often referred to as the Sputnik shock, leading to heightened fears of a potential technological and military gap between the two superpowers. Following Sputnik 1, the Soviet Union continued to achieve remarkable milestones. In 1957, they launched Sputnik 2, which carried the first living creature into space, a dog named Laika. In 1961, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space, completing an orbit of the Earth. These early Soviet successes in space exploration not only marked significant technological achievements, but also had political, military, and psychological ramifications. They set the United States on a trajectory to catch up. The early successes of the Soviet Union in the space race, particularly the launch of Sputnik 1 and Yuri Gagarin's historic orbit, prompted the United States to respond swiftly and decisively. In response to the Soviet achievements, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the National Aeronautics and Space Act into law on July 29, 1958, creating NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. This new agency had a clear mandate: to lead America's civilian space program, focusing on peaceful exploration and research in space. NASA's initial program, Project Mercury, was designed to put American astronauts into space. It began with a series of both manned and unmanned suborbital flights, and ultimately culminated in the successful launch of Alan Shepard on a suborbital trajectory in May 1961, making him the first American in space. The Apollo program was a historic and ambitious set of missions undertaken by NASA, with the goal of landing humans on the moon and returning them safely to Earth. It stands as one of the most significant achievements in the history of space exploration and humanity. After the Soviet launches, President John F. Kennedy made a bold commitment in 1961 to send an American astronaut to the moon by the end of the decade, asserting US leadership in space exploration. The Apollo program consisted of a series of missions, with Apollo 1 to Apollo 17. Tragically, the Apollo 1 mission ended in a cabin fire during a pre-launch test, resulting in the loss of all 3 crew members. The subsequent missions focused on improving safety and technology. Notably, Apollo 8 was the first human mission to orbit the moon, and Apollo 11 achieved the historic lunar landing in 1969. The crowning achievement of the Apollo program was the Apollo 11 mission, which took place from the 16th to the 24th of July 1969. The mission's lunar module, named Eagle, landed astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the moon's surface on July 20th, while Michael Collins orbited above. Neil Armstrong's famous words,
"It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind,"
were broadcast worldwide as he became the first human to set foot on the moon. The legacy of the Apollo program extends far beyond the moon landings. It represented a remarkable technological and scientific achievement, driving advances in aerospace technology, computing, and materials science. It also fostered international cooperation in space exploration. It inspired future generations and paved the way for further human space exploration, including missions to Mars and beyond. The Apollo program remains a testament to the human capacity for exploration, innovation, and perseverance. It symbolizes a pivotal moment in the history of space exploration and serves as a source of inspiration for future endeavors in the cosmos. The Soviet Union achieved several notable successes during the space race that significantly contributed to the global understanding of space exploration and technology. These achievements demonstrated the Soviet Union's pioneering capabilities in space during the mid-20th century. The Soviet Union conducted the first spacewalks, with Alexei Leonov's historic mission on March 18, 1965, during the Voskhod 2 mission. This feat demonstrated the possibility of human mobility in space, a critical aspect of future space missions. The Soviet Luna program achieved significant lunar exploration milestones. Luna 2 became the first human-made object to reach the moon in 1959. Luna 9 was the first spacecraft to successfully transmit images from the moon's surface in 1966. The Soviet Union launched the world's first space station, Salyut 1, in 1971. This space station program laid the groundwork for long-duration space missions and space laboratories. The Soviet Union deployed lunar rovers on the moon during the Luna program. These robotic rovers, such as Lunokhod 1 and Lunokhod 2, conducted experiments and sent valuable data back to Earth. Soviet achievements in the space race played a crucial role in advancing space technology and knowledge. They showcased the Soviet Union's early lead in space exploration, which in turn spurred the United States to accelerate its own space efforts. The competition between these two superpowers during the space race led to rapid advancements in technology and increased our understanding of the challenges and possibilities of space exploration, leaving a lasting legacy in the field of astronautics and science. The space race had significant political importance during the Cold War, as it became a pivotal aspect of the broader ideological and geopolitical competition between the United States and Soviet Union. The space race served as a symbolic battleground for demonstrating the superiority of each nation's political and economic ideologies. The United States saw its space efforts as a showcase of the benefits of capitalism, individual freedom, and democracy, while the Soviet Union viewed its space achievements as a validation of communism and centralized planning. Both countries leveraged their space achievements for propaganda purposes. Successes in space were heavily publicized and celebrated, aiming to bolster domestic morale and project a global sense of superiority. Failures, on the other hand, were downplayed or concealed to avoid embarrassment. Achievements in space exploration fostered a sense of national identity and unity in both countries. Citizens took pride in their respective nations' space accomplishments, and these endeavors had a unifying effect during a time of political and social division. The development of rocket technology for space exploration had uses for military applications. The same rockets used to launch satellites and astronauts into space could potentially carry nuclear warheads, intensifying the arms race between the two superpowers. The competition extended to international relations, as countries around the world aligned themselves with either the United States or the Soviet Union. The superpowers sought to gain allies and expand their influence through diplomatic and economic means. The space race played a pivotal role in the formation of international space law, to treaties and agreements that govern the peaceful use of outer space, prevention of placement of nuclear weapons in space, and regulate the rescue and return of astronauts. Modern space exploration has been greatly influenced by the space race, with continued advancement and a broader perspective on the cosmos. Modern space exploration encompasses a wide range of missions, including robotic probes to other planets, asteroid missions, the study of distant galaxies, and the search for exoplanets with potential for life. These missions expand our understanding of the universe and its origins. The legacy of the space race is evident in the ongoing commitment to human spaceflight. The International Space Station is a symbol of international collaboration and continuous human presence in space, with astronauts conducting experiments and research in microgravity environment. The emergence of private space companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic has brought new energy and innovation to space exploration. They are reducing launch costs, developing reusable rockets, and expanding opportunities for commercial space activities, including space tourism. Missions to explore Mars, such as NASA's Mars rovers and Mars Science Laboratory, have revealed evidence of the planet's watery past and potential for ancient life. In addition, the study of moons like Europa around Jupiter and Enceladus around Saturn has raised the possibility of subsurface oceans and the search for life beyond Earth. Space-based telescopes like the Hubble Space Telescope and the James Webb Space Telescope have provided unprecedented views of distant galaxies, nebulas, and exoplanets, leading to groundbreaking discoveries and insights into the universe's evolution. Interest in the moon has been rekindled, with plans for future human missions and lunar bases. The moon is seen as a stepping stone for deeper space exploration, including missions to Mars and beyond. Space exploration continues to be a global endeavor, with international partnerships playing a vital role in space missions and scientific research. Collaborative efforts promote shared scientific discoveries and the peaceful use of space. Modern space exploration builds on the foundation laid by the space race, benefiting from the technological, scientific, and international cooperation achievements of that era. With new missions, diverse objectives, and a growing presence in space, the exploration of the cosmos continues to inspire and captivate humanity while advancing our understanding of the universe.